Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Brahmachari Gurukule Vasan Danto Gurur Itam Acharan Dasavan Nicho Guru Sudridha Sohridaha Brahmachari Gurukule Vasandanto Gurur Hitam Acharan Dasavan Nicho Guru Sudridha Sohridaha Brahmachari Gurukule Vasandanto Gurur Hitam Acharan Dasavan Nicho Guru Sudridha Sohridaha. Translation. Narada Muni continued to speak that the students should completely practice how to control the senses, be submissive, firmly, in friendly attitude upon the spiritual master. With great vow, the brahmachari should live at Gurukula only for the benefit of the Guru.
Brahmachari Gurukule Vasandanta Guru Hitam Acharan Dasavat Nicha Guru Sudhira Sohida. So, as it is stated that human life is meant for tapasya, austerity. Tapasa, tapo, dibbang pautraka jena suddhita satya. That this human form of life is meant for tapasya, not to live like cats and dogs. That is not human form of life. And tapasya, austerity, begins from brahmacharya. Tapasya brahmacharjena samena damena va. This is tapasya. Brahmacharya means restraining sex life, celibacy. That is brahmacharya. So when one is serious about advancement of spiritual consciousness, he must live under the control of the Guru to learn how to become brahmachari. This is the main purpose. The whole Vedic civilization is on the basis of controlling the senses. The yoga practice, it is also meant for controlling the senses. Yoga, indriya samyama. By some artificial bodily exercise, one can control the senses. That is called yoga. But one who becomes directly a devotee, his sense control is automatically done if he is devotee. Bhakti parasanubhava virakti annatrasya. If one is devotee, then he does not like anything material. And the sex enjoyment is the topmost pleasure in this material world. So naturally, one who is devotee, he doesn't require to practice brahmacharya separately. Parang dishtani vartate. Because sex pleasure may be very nice in this material world, but when one gets a sense of spiritual pleasure, then this pleasure becomes abominable. It is said by Jamunacharya, Jadavadhi mama chitta krishna padara vindayo navanavadhama rantumasit tadavadhi batanari sangame bhavati mukha vikara sustu nistivancha. Since I have begun to understand Krishna consciousness and getting relish, since then, when I think of Batanari Sangame, sex pleasure with women, I spite on it and my mouth becomes curved. Like that. Actually it is the position. But because we are under the spell of Maya, we are captivated, bewildered, that after sex life, not only human being, but anyone who is living within this material world, beginning from Brahma down to the smallest insect, everyone is after sex life. We have heard that even Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, they become sexually excited. It is said that Lord Brahma was enchanted by his daughter. What to speak of others? This material world is so, I would say, bewildering that sometimes the first-class person also become bewildered by sex life. They are pretty strictly prohibited that one should not remain in a solitary place with woman, even though the woman is mother, sister or daughter. This is the injunction of the Shastra. Matra sasra duhitra va na viviktasane vaset balavan indiya grama viddangsa vikarsati. This is the order that matra means along with mother, sasra means along with sister, and duhitra means along with daughter. One should not sit down in a solitary place even with mother, sister or daughter. So one may be surprised that nobody becomes agitated sitting before mother, sister or daughter. But Shastra says, no, they are agitated. Then you can say, maybe agitate some fool rascal. No, viddhamsa vikarsati. Even though one is very advanced, learned, they also become agitated. Therefore, we should be very, very careful. Very, very careful. And another place is, just like in our society, compulsorily we have to mix with women, not only women, very beautiful young girls. But if one is not agitated, even in this association of beautiful women and girls, then he is to be considered Paramahamsa. He is very advanced. Those who are not Paramahamsa means he is above all these material qualities. So we cannot avoid in our Krishna consciousness movement, that was the problem from the very beginning. In India there is a restriction between man and woman, free mix, intermingling. But in your country, there is no such restriction. Therefore, I got my disciples married. They criticize me that I have become a marriage maker. Anyway, I wanted at least to regulate. That is required. Dharma viruddha kamasmi, Krishna also says. Now, a married man also can be brahmachari. If a married man stick to one wife and before sex, if he takes permission from his spiritual master, then he is brahmachari. Not whimsically. When the spiritual master orders him that now he can beget a child, then he is brahmachari. Srila Viraghava Acharya, he has described in his comment that there are two kinds of brahmachari. One brahmachari is naisthik brahmachari, he doesn't marry. And another brahmachari is, although he marries, he is fully under control of the spiritual master, even for sex. That is, he is also brahmachari. So, why so much restriction on the sex life? Yeah, it is. The people do not understand throughout the whole world. They are captivated by sex life, especially in the Western countries. Pungsang sriyo mithuni bhavameta. Material existence means a desire of sex life, both man and woman. Pungsang sriyo mithuni bhavameta. Not only in human society, in animal society, in bird society, everywhere. That is material life. Tayor mitha hi dayavanti mahu. And when they are united for this purpose, the man and woman, we are already attached to the material activities, then our attachment becomes more and more strong. Tayor mithori dayaganti mahu. Then out of this attachment, atah griya chetra sutapra vittai janasya moho ayam ahangamameti. In this way, being united, then they want griha, apartment to live together. Then they want some land. Formerly there was no service. The grihastha used to produce the food grains from the land. Neither there was factories or big offices to get job. One had to produce his own food from the land. So simply apartment will not help. I must require some land for eating. Griha kshetra suta. Then we desire for some children. Suta apta, then friends. Suta apta. Atak grihas khetra sutapta vittai. But all these establishments can be maintained by money only, then money. Then in this way, gradually, janasya mohoyam. We are already bewildered. We are attached to this material world. But when we are united, man and woman together, our attachment for this material world becomes increased. Janasya mohoyam aham mameti. Material world means I am this body, and in material in relationship with this body, everything is mine. This conception. They forget altogether that nothing is mine, even this body is not mine, even I am not mine. Everything is Krishna's. That is wanted. Unless we get to that status of life that nothing belongs to me, this body also belongs to Krishna, I as spirit soul belong to Krishna, and everything belongs to Krishna, then we become liberated. Tapasa brahmacharya. This human form of life is meant for tapasya, to learn how to become detached from this material world. And the beginning is this brahmachari life. Brahmachari gurukule vasan danta. Danta means self-control. That is real teaching. Either a grihastha lives, if a grihastha lives, even he has got wife, he does not, one side, according to Vedic civilization, there is no sex life except for begetting a nice child. And that also with garbhadhan sanskar. In other words, whimsically sex life is completely stopped in Vedic civilization. There everything under regulation. Therefore, brahmachari means how to control the senses, to keep under his own control. Not that I am now sexually inclined, I must have immediately sex. No, dant. That is taught, just like in our society, even grihastha, he is also under restriction. And what to speak of brahmachari. But we should always remember that this human life is meant for controlling the senses. Athatam brahma jigyasa. It is simply meant for inquiring about our spiritual life. That is perfect civilization. Therefore, brahmachari means living under the direction of Guru, Guru Hitam. And Guru Hitam, how he can be simply thinking of benefiting the spiritual master. Unless that position comes, nobody can serve Guru. It is not an artificial thing. The brahmachari, the disciple, must have genuine love for Guru, then he can be under his control. Otherwise, why one should be under the control of another person? Therefore it is said, acharan dasavat. Dasa means servant. Not only servant, but menial servant. Menial servant means just like the sweeper, the cobbler, like that. They are called menial servant. In India there is system, the sweeper class is different, the cobbler class is different, and domestic servant is different. The barber, he is also servant, different. The washerman, he is also servant. So, nicha means just like the washerman or the barber or the cobbler, they are less than the domestic servant at home. They are Sudras, and they are considered less than the Sudras, Panchama. So, a disciple is expected to live in Gurukul, or Gurukul means at the center of Guru, Nichavat, menial servant, menial servant, Nichavat, Acharan, Dasavat, Nicha, Guru, Sudhira, Saurya. This can be possible when one is very thickly related with the Guru. Otherwise, ordinary relationship will not do. One who has got actually the conviction, Jasya prasada bhagavat prasada. One who is convinced that if I can please my Guru, then Krishna will be pleased. This is called Sudhira, full faith. Jasya prasada nagati kutopi. And if I displease my Guru, then I have no place. In this way, of course, Guru cannot be a false Guru. False Guru has no such thing. If one Guru is genuine and the disciple is genuine, then both of them are benefited and they go back to home, back to God. Thank you very much.
Is naturally eternal, full of knowledge, and full of transcendental bliss. When a living being is awakened to his original constitutional position of Krishna consciousness, he becomes filled with sublime, exalted spiritual emotions that have no material counterpart. As a great self-realized and God-conscious saint, Srila Prabhupada often exhibited the spiritual happiness that Krishna describes in the Bhagavad Gita. That sacred and ancient fountainhead of wisdom has this to say about the final state of human perfection. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness and enjoys himself through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he knows there is no greater gain.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You founded the Hare Krishna movement some 7 years ago in 1967, did you not?
Yes.
In a capsule, what is the movement?
The movement is to awaken God consciousness of the human being. The human being is distinguished from the animals, that the animals cannot understand what is God.
Mm-hmm.
And if the human being also does not understand what is God, then he is animal.
I see. And so your movement is to bring about an understanding of God among human beings.
Yes.
And Hare Krishna means what?
Hare Krishna means addressing the energy of God. Hare means the energy of God, and Krishna means God.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you were here yesterday and to attend your annual festival that was held here in Golden Gate Park, and we were there too. And in fact, here it is. A few thousand people came out to hear it. How many people are now disciples of the Krishna consciousness movement?
Dedicated life, about 10,000.
About 10,000 dedicated
in
ones.
the Western world.
Mm-hmm. Your Grace, is there any significance at all in the shaved head? Why are heads shaved?
We keep ourselves very clean, that's all.
Oh, it's just a cleanliness thing?
Yes.
Is there any significance in the color of the robes?
At least at the present moment, people think that by keeping long hair, it becomes very beautiful.
I see.
Yes. So we are against that.
Mm-hmm. Just as simple as that. Is there any significance in the yellow robes?
Yellow robe is the dress, those who are dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
It could very well have been a blue robe. It's just something that was arrived at.
This saffron.
Your Grace, why do you feel that so many people are pulling away from the traditional religions in this country, such as Christianity and so forth, and going for the trying to understand the Eastern religions? We hear a lot of swamis and gurus and other type of yogi and so forth. Why do you feel that people are pulling away from the traditional Christian standards here?
But we see that the Christian churches, especially I've seen in London, mostly closed. People are not interested, or the Christian leaders, they cannot make them interested.
Why? Did Christianity fail the people, which is why they're turning to other things? Or?
I think so.
You say that Hare Krishna consciousness pretty much takes the absolute truths from the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, and the Vedic.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Religion means to understand God.
I understand, but do you feel that in getting truths from various places like the Bible and the Quran and so forth, don't you run into conflicts at all or contradictions in those particular philosophies?
No, I don't find any conflict because the ultimate goal is God. So you have to understand God and try to love Him. So you can go through any religious process. If the goal is attained, that you understand what is goal, and you try to love Him, then your life is perfect.
Why do we see so many of your followers chanting almost all the time?
Chanting means to keep association with God always.
So you have to audibly chant Hare Krishna?
Yes. This is transcendental vibration. Just like a radio message, if you keep contact with the radio message, then you know everything what is going on outside. Similarly, this transcendental sound, Hare Krishna, if you chant, then you keep connection with God directly.
Thank you very much, Your Divine Grace. It's been our privilege to talk with you and to meet you.
Thank you.
And hope that we can see you again when you return.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
We'll be back with more news in just a moment.
Daiva tripting bhajata sadaiva. Daiva tripting bhajata sadaiva. Bandhe gurasi charanarabindam. Bandhe gurasi charanarabindam. Very much happy because these American boys are helping. It is due to their cooperation. The movement is spread all over the world.
Where will you go from here?
In America, what is the date I entered? In Hawaii.
She's asking where you will go after Dallas.
Where will you visit?
Oh, from Dallas, I will go to New Virginia.
West
West Virginia?
From there, I shall go to London.
Are you pleased with the Krishna movement in the United States? Do you think it's growing?
What do you think?
I think it is. And this pleases you.
It is growing very fast.
Do you
Not
think...
only growing, but growing very fast. And the flowers of your country, the young generation, they are taking it very seriously. These boys, these girls, they are taking it very seriously.
Do you think that the children you see here will carry on?
We are creating another generation, Krishna conscious. So it will continue.
What does Krishna offer that some of the other religious beliefs of the world?
Krishna is God. So other religion who follow God consciousness, so there is no difference. It may be different some name, but religion means God consciousness. Without God consciousness, there is no religion.
And what does worshiping in your way? Is it any better than worshiping in another way? Is it a more direct contact with Krishna?
Well, every way is nice, provided the followers are nice. unfortunately, the principles are not followed. Just like in Christian religion, it is said, thou shalt not kill. But killing is very good thing here in the Christian world. Killing simply. So many slaughterhouses. That is not Christian religion. But followers, they do not follow the rules and regulations. That is regretted. Otherwise, it is very nice. Our also principle is no meat eating. That means there is no killing of animals. Every religion says like that, but the followers do not follow.
The Krishna religion teaches that women are to be subservient to men always. Why?
The Krishna religion teaches that women should be subservient, should be subordinate to men. He's asking why.
Well, not should be, they are, by nature. What do you think, your position?
I don't believe in that, of course. I disagree.
But if voluntarily become subservient to a man, that is the nature.
Does that make them less of a being?
They are seeking to become subservient, attracting man. Take me as subservient. That is natural. Even psychologically, it is analyzed that the brain of man is up, they have seen up to 64 ounces, whereas the brain of woman, they have not found more than 36 ounces.
But women live longer than men.
Huh?
Women live longer than men.
Not necessarily.
So we got you.
Sometimes it is. My grandmother lived about 100 years. My mother. So sometimes it happens.
You see, now
It is not restricted among women. There are men also.
how old is the movement?
But from historical point of view, it is about 5,000 years old.
Why has it just begun to really catch on in the Western world? I mean, just recently, in recent years, has it begun to sweep the Western world? Why is this?
The Western world, the younger generation were being frustrated, the hippie movement. So, when they saw something tangible, they accepted it.
What things would, if everyone in the United States believed in Krishna to the extent that you do, what would happen to this country? How would it be transformed?
They will be very happy and peaceful. There will be no more hippies.
What would you describe as a hippie? Someone who smokes.
You know better than me. Something extraordinary.
How do you respond to this? How should people who follow your beliefs, how should they respond to other people who are criticizing them and for the way that they?
This criticism, you criticize me, I criticize you. That is going on. Even there is no change of dress. It is man's nature to become envious, to criticize others. That is material nature.
So you think that they're envious because they're criticizing?
Yes.
Because of the happiness that the people have?
Certainly.
Oh.
Sometimes they inquire, are you Americans? Because they never saw Americans so peaceful. And in the priests also, they very much appreciate. In Melbourne, the Bishop of Melbourne and the head of the Scottish Church and many church people, they very much appreciate them. Invited me and talked in a society of that San Francisco. There were hundreds of fathers The meeting was attended. I spoke for 1 hour, and they very much appreciated. I applauded for 10 minutes, and they accepted. And Reverend Paul, he gave declaration that we have no alarm from the Krishna movement.
Do you, this is your third visit to Dallas, is that correct?
I think
3 or 4.
third.
Why was Dallas selected as the point to establish the school? I believe this is the first school, isn't it, in the United States to be established? Why was Dallas particularly chosen for the school?
It was Krishna's choice.
Krishna's choice. He chose Dallas.
Yes, we got a nice house, and we accepted. So it was Krishna's choice.
Where does the Krishna National or the International Krishna Organization get its funds? From simply donations? They've been criticized occasionally for being very wealthy.
Yeah, that is our reputation. Even in Indian Parliament, this question was raised. That these Hare Krishna people, fabulously rich, where they get money. Somebody suspected that we are getting bribes from American government. What is that, CIA? So if you are theologians, then you must know what is God and abide by God. What do you think, Dr. Judah?
Pardon?
What do you think this proposition?
Yes, well, I think you're quite right. I think that it is certainly in our day and age, many of us don't really know God.
Then he's not theologist. He's theosophic.
We know about God, but we do not know God. I would agree.
That is theosophy. Theosophy is they're thinking there is something superior. But who is that superior? They're searching. The same thing. A boy, he knows I have a father. But who is my father? I don't know. But that you have to ask his mother. Alone he cannot understand. So our proposition is that if you do not know God, and here is God, Krishna, why don't you accept it? You do not know, first of all. And if I present here is God, then why don't you accept it? What is the answer? We are presenting God, here is God. And big acharyas have accepted. Ramanucharya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, Lord Chaitanya, in our disciplic succession, my Guru Maharaj, and I am preaching, he is God. I am not presenting a God whimsical. I am presenting a God, he is recognized. So why don't you accept? That is the difficulty.
I suppose one of the difficulties for certainly many in the older generation is that we follow certain patterns of life, and
And we are not serious about God.
and it is difficult to change. This is the great problem.
Therefore Krishna said, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sat. You have to give up.
That's right.
So if you are not prepared to give up, then you cannot accept God.
I think you're being a little unfair to Dr. Crossley. I think what you say is true, that it's the most important thing we can do is to seek and know God. But I don't think it's right to say that it's a bad thing to study how other people or how man
I don't
has
say
thought.
bad thing.
Yeah.
I say if you're serious about God, now here is God.
That's what a university in part is for, to study about how people have thought on different matters.
I would say if you are seeking after something, if you get that something, why don't you accept?
Do you believe that Christ said that Krishna was his father?
The name may be different. It's like in our country we say this flower something, we say something. But subject matter must be the same. Name is not. You can say any different as you understand. The God is one. God cannot be two. You may give him different names. That is different. But God is one. God cannot be two. You pay tax to the government, and the tax is distributed in so many departments. So it is not your business to go every department and pay tax. Pay to the treasury of the government, it will be distributed. This is intelligence. And if you say that why shall I pay to the treasury house? I shall pay this department, that department, that department, that department. You can go on, but it will never be sufficient. Neither complete. So you may love humanity, but because you do not love Krishna, therefore do not love the cows, you send them around. So your love will remain defective. It will never be complete. And if you love Krishna, then you love in the small ant. He will not interested in to kill even an ant. That is real love.
I agree with you that we love very badly and we slaughter the animals.
So badly love is not love.
But is the converse true, that we chant very well and that we can love Krishna even when we cannot love our fellow people?
We are chanting, we are also working. It is not that. We are simply sitting down and chanting. Because you are chanting, therefore you are loving everyone. That's a fact. These Hare Krishna chanters, they never agree to kill any animal, even a plant, because they know everything is part and parcel of God. Why unnecessarily one should be killed? That is love.
Love means never killing?
There are so many things. It is one of the items. Yes, that is one. Do you kill your own son? Why? Because you love him.
Would you explain the other side of it? The fact that, of course, the Bhagavad Gita has its setting on a battlefield in which Krishna enjoins Arjuna.
That killing and poor animal who is supplying milk, you are drinking milk, your mother, and you are killing. This killing and that killing is not the same thing. according to Vedic civilization, the cow is to be given special protection. Why? It is recommended for the cow. It does not say of other animals.
Srila Prabhupada, you are aware that they advanced the argument of mesmerization against chanting.
That's good. That's good. If you can mesmerize, that Dr. Judah has admitted, that you can mesmerize the drug-addicted hippies and engage them in understanding Krishna. It's a great achievement.
Commercials.
Yes.
It's not mesmerization.
Whatever it may be. Dr. Judah has admitted this. So, if mesmerization is for good, why not accept it? If it is for bad, then it is another thing. If it is doing good, why not accept it? What do you think?
I don't know how to react. I think I agree with you.
If it is good, everything good should be accepted.
No problem. I keep wondering how you're so sure you know what good is, particularly when it comes to war. I would be a little more worried, I think, that...
What is that word?
Well, when you were telling that sometimes war is necessary, I should think that it's important to know how to decide when...
Well, necessary means you cannot expect in this material world all saintly persons. There are bad elements. So if a bad element comes to attack you, is it not your duty to fight and protect?
So it just may be, though, that mine are the bad elements, and I keep thinking that other people are the bad elements.
No.
That's right.
Even God has got this discrimination. He says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. There are bad elements. In God's mind there is good element, bad element. So we are part and parcel of God. We must have also the same sentiment. You cannot avoid it.
The body is not divided.
Yeah.
No, he's saying that when we say everything is part of God, the body is an exception. He says the body then is an exception. The body is not part of God?
No, why? Body is also part.
Yes, the body is also part.
Yeah, that's his understanding.
Maya Shakti.
Yes, it is another energy.
I see.
Inferior energy.
Inferior energy.
Everything is God's energy. The body is also God's energy. The best use of the body is God's energy should be utilized for God. Then it is body spiritualized. Body is also God's energy. And if it is engaged in God's service, then the body is no more bad bargain. It is a good bargain.
हरे कृष्णा। तो आज का जो श्लोक है श्रीमद् भागवत के 7वें स्कंद के 12वें अध्याय का पहला श्लोक। ब्रह्मचारी गुरुकुले वसंदांतो गुरोर्हितम आचरण दासवन्नीचो गुरो सुदृढ़ स्वहृदय। तो इसमें बताया गया है कि जो ब्रह्मचारी है वो गुरुकुल में निवास करता है
गुरुकुल का मतलब है गुरु का परिवार, और दांत का मतलब है अपनी इंद्रियों को बस में करता है। गुरोर हितम आचरण, और गुरु के हित में आचरण करता है। और दासवन नीचो, और नीच होता है, दास के समान नीच होता है। गुरु सुदृढ़ सुहृदा, और गुरु के प्रति उसका जो है जो सौहार्द है, उसकी जो आदर की भावना है, प्रेम की भावना है, वो बड़ी सुदृढ़ होती है, बहुत ही मजबूत होती है। तो प्रभुपाद समझाते हैं कि मनुष्य का जो जीवन है ये तपस्या के लिए प्राप्त हुआ है। तपो दिव्यम पुत्र का येन सत्वम, ये जो मनुष्य का जीवन है ये दिव्य तपस्या के लिए है। येन सत्वम शुद्धेत, जिसके द्वारा अपनी बुद्धि शुद्ध होगी। यस्मात् ब्रह्म सौख्यम तुनंतम, जिसके द्वारा अनंत ब्रह्म सुख प्राप्त होता है। तो ब्रह्मचारी दो प्रकार के प्रभुपाद बताते हैं। एक तो ब्रह्मचारी है नैष्ठिक ब्रह्मचारी, और दूसरा ब्रह्मचारी है गृहस्थ ब्रह्मचारी। तो गुरु की आज्ञा से अगर कोई ब्रह्मचारी विवाह करता है और गुरु की आज्ञा में ही रहता है, और अपने जो इंद्रिय तृप्ति को बस में करता है, गुरु की आज्ञा से ही वो पत्नी के साथ सहवास करता है, तो वो जो है गृहस्थ ब्रह्मचारी कहलाता है। तो जब ब्रह्मचारी जो है इस प्रकार से अपनी काम वासना को बस में करता है और पत्नी के साथ भी रहता है, लेकिन गुरु के मार्गदर्शन में हमेशा कार्य करता है, तो वो जो है गृहस्थ ब्रह्मचारी कहलाता है। और आचरण दास मन नीचो, और गुरु के सामने वो नीच दास के समान रहता है। तो दो प्रकार के दास होते हैं। एक तो है घर के जो नौकर होते हैं वो भी दास होते हैं, लेकिन जो गुरु के सामने जो शिष्य है वो जो दास होता है वो नीच दास की तरह है। और नीच दास का मतलब है जैसे कि धोबी होते हैं, या मोची होता है, या नाई होता है, तो ये क्या है, ये बड़े नीच हैं, है ना। तो उस प्रकार से धोबी, मोची, नाई, ये घर के जो नौकर होते हैं उनसे भी ज़्यादा नीचे सेवक होते हैं। तो यहाँ प्रभुपाद समझा रहे हैं कि जो गुरु की सेवा जब करे, गुरु के जो है हित में करे, गुरु के इच्छा के अनुसार सेवा करे, तो वो जो है ब्रह्मचारी कहलाता है। और संतान उत्पन्न करने के लिए ही पत्नी के साथ सहवास करे, गुरु की आज्ञा से सहवास करे, तो वो ब्रह्मचारी कहलाता है। और अगर कोई अपनी काम वासना के अनुसार जैसे ही उसके मन में काम वासना पैदा होती है तुरंत वो जो है स्त्री को भोगता है, तो वो जो है वो ब्रह्मचारी नहीं कहलाता है। ब्रह्मचारी का मतलब है काम वासना की जो है अगर उसके अंदर उद्वेग होता है, वेग आवेग होता है, काम का आवेग होता है, परंतु बस में करे उसको। तो मनुष्य का जो जीवन है वो इसके लिए बना हुआ है, तपस्या के लिए बना हुआ है। तो सामान्य लोग जो है पशु की तरह है, कुत्ते या बिल्ली की तरह जो है रहते हैं। स्त्री का जो है आकर्षण पुरुष के प्रति है, पुरुष का आकर्षण स्त्री के प्रति है ना। तो ये तो पशु का जीवन है, लेकिन जो मनुष्य का जीवन है इसमें विशेष रूप से बहुत सावधान होने की आवश्यकता है। और जब सावधानी से अपने इस जो काम वासना को कोई व्यक्ति नियंत्रित करता है तो वो फिर आध्यात्मिक चेतना में आता है, आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान प्राप्त करने के योग्य होता है। और अगर कोई व्यक्ति अपनी काम वासना को नहीं जीत पाता तो फिर उसको आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान प्राप्त नहीं हो सकता। तो यहाँ प्रभुपाद ये समझा रहे हैं कि जो ब्रह्मचर्य है, तपसा ब्रह्मचर्य ने, तो मनुष्य का जो जीवन है ये तपस्या के लिए बना है। और तपस्या का जो सबसे पहला बिंदु है वो ब्रह्मचर्य है कि स्त्री और पुरुष का जो है जो आकर्षण है उसको नियंत्रित किया जाए। अन्यथा क्या होता है कि हृदय ग्रंथि माहुर पुंसा स्त्रियों मिथुनी भाव में ताम, पुरुष का स्त्री के प्रति जो आकर्षण होता है वो फिर हृदय ग्रंथि माहुर, हृदय की एक गांठ बन जाती है। और इस तरह से फिर उसको चाहिए क्षेत्र, चाहिए उसको घर, चाहिए गृह क्षेत्र सुताप्त वित्तैर, उसको घर की आवश्यकता फिर होती है और फिर उसको क्षेत्र की आवश्यकता होती है, यानी ज़मीन। तो पहले फैक्ट्रियाँ नहीं होती थीं, ऑफिस नहीं होते थे, तो जीविका उपार्जन के लिए उनके पास जो है ज़मीन की आवश्यकता होती थी कि ज़मीन होगी तो वो अपना भोजन उगा लें, तो जीवन बड़ा सरल होता था। तो इस तरह से हर व्यक्ति को कुछ घर चाहिए और उसको जो है कुछ ज़मीन चाहिए, अतो गृह क्षेत्र सुत है। और फिर गृहस्थ जीवन में फिर पुत्र की आवश्यकता होती है, बच्चों की आवश्यकता होती है, संतान चाहिए, आप्त का मतलब मित्रों का जो है एक समाज चाहिए, आप्त वित्तैर, और ये सब चीज़ों के लिए धन की आवश्यकता होती है, धन की आवश्यकता तो धन की आवश्यकता होती है। तो जैसे ही स्त्री के साथ व्यक्ति का जब इस प्रकार से शारीरिक संबंध होता है तो फिर ये आवश्यकताएं बढ़ती जाती हैं और उसका जो जीवन का बंधन है वो बढ़ता जाता है। लेकिन अगर कोई व्यक्ति गुरु के संपर्क में हमेशा रहता है, और गुरु का अर्थ जो है क्या होता है, जो सद्गुरु, जेन्युइन जो सद्गुरु है, तो उसके जो है संपर्क में जब वो रहता है तो उसको जीवन की दिशा हमेशा प्राप्त होती है और उसको दृष्टि ऐसी बनी रहती है कि उसके जीवन की दिशा क्या है। और अन्यथा पशु के जीवन में क्या है कि अपना जो है खाना है, भोजन है और निद्रा है और सुरक्षा है और मैथुन है, ये पशु के जीवन की आवश्यकता है। और मनुष्य के जीवन में विशेष जो आवश्यकता होती है वो धर्म की होती है, और धर्म का मतलब है भगवान को जानना और भगवान से प्रेम करना, तो ये धर्म कहलाता है। हरे कृष्णा। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा।